Hey, it's Wendy from Soul Embodiment, and I have an upcoming workshop that you need to know about. It's called Healing with the Ancestors, Breaking Family Patterns. And I have a personal commitment to do this workshop every single year because it is so profoundly important to me for a couple reasons I want to share with you. So first of all, practically everybody that walks through my door is trying to heal some kind of pattern in their life. They see themselves doing the same thing over and over. They've seen their parents do it, they see their siblings do it, or they know that it originated someplace where they were setting up their beliefs about how the world is when we're very young, and they don't know how to break it. Or maybe they have a pattern in their life and they can't even figure out where it came from. It's so deeply rooted in them. And these are patterns that can be passed down in our DNA. We're actually understanding now scientifically that in our DNA, for example, if a parent or a grandparent had a traumatic experience that created post-traumatic stress for them, that we can actually be born with those chemical reactions happening in our body, with the gene for post-traumatic stress turned on. So these can be patterns that maybe didn't even originate with us, but we are living out our family history. So my own healing journey actually started with a very painful moment where I recognized that while I thought I was in control of my life, I was not, and that these patterns were actually running a huge part of my life. And that really pissed me off. And it set me on a path where I was going to do whatever I could to get my life back and be at choice in terms of my reactions and how I chose to live in the world. So maybe you relate to that. In addition to that, I had a very profound spiritual experience, and that was when I was preparing to teach this workshop for the very first time, and I went out to do ceremony to call in the spirits of those people who were the right people for that workshop at that time. It's a little thing I always do. And when I went into prayer with my healing pipe and said, you know, who wants to come, who's ready for this work, what happened was I in spirit was surrounded by hundreds of ancestors, grandparents, great-grandparents, and they said to me with such sadness that they understood, well, they didn't understand while they were living. Once they had crossed over to the other side, they understood so deeply the pain that these repetitive family patterns cause, the pain that they had handed down to their descendants. And from the other side, they felt so helpless because they were no longer among the living where they could create healing. And so what they said to me was that we pray every single day for our descendants, that they will be the one to break the family pattern. And there's a native saying that many of you may know, and that is that when we break a family pattern, we heal not only ourselves, but 7 generations forward and 7 generations back. And so I made a commitment at that moment to the ancestors that I would always hold the space for this kind of family pattern healing. And so it's a powerful day where we go through an intensive process to unravel and understand our family patterns. And then we do a powerful shamanic ceremony that we share, in which we deal with our ancestors and our own family patterns and find a way to embody wholeness as we step forward. So I hope that if this speaks to you, that you will come and join me on this day. It's very powerful, and I look forward to sharing the work with you, and your ancestors do too. Take care.